Welcome to today's MindMap Mondays. I hope you can hear me clearly here as I quickly make sure that everything is running smoothly this Monday, and hopefully the video, the audio, and everything is coming through just the way that it should. Great. Mind Map Mondays, where we explore the journey towards all of the dreams that we have. Talk through tools, strategies, and ideas that could help us get there. That's what this space is for. I want to share a couple of the techniques that I have learned for managing myself, managing my time, and maybe even managing others emotionally, managing them in the tasks that they need to do and all of that, and sharing them in such a way that they're able to understand them through their lens in life. That's what this space is about. And today I want to share specifically about a tool that has been very helpful for me personally. It's helped me being able to navigate the different aspects of who I am as a person, and all of my interests, and trying to make sure that not a single interest takes me from the other. In essence, giving enough of myself to everything. If you haven't heard of it, I'm a big advocate for the Eisenhower method, or the Eisenhower matrix, in essence. If you haven't heard of it, this is a 4-quadrant system that helps one decide on their priorities, in essence. The way that I like to, and I think this is also the way President Eisenhower himself put it together. I have 4 quadrants in the way that I use it, the way that I learned it. It has 4 quadrants. And of those 4 quadrants, there are 2 axes of measurement, in essence. It's an axis, whether you like to put it across the X or the Y axis, that is entirely up to you. But on one axis, you want to measure the level of importance. And on the other one, you want to measure the level of urgency. I often like to put my importance on my y-axis and my urgency on the x-axis, because most times the x-axis represents time, and the y-axis displacement. So that is why I have my level of importance on my y-axis, and then on my x-axis I have time, which is urgency. How much time do I have until this thing just can't wait anymore? So that's why I put it on the x-axis. We have importance, and then we have urgency. So on my top I put important, and on the bottom I put unimportant. I think I'm actually going to do a little diagram here for us. It is actually, I can take you, let me quickly take you to the other side of the room. I hope you can hear me from all the way over there, so that I can just quickly show you how I have it right now. Don't judge me on my plans and how they look. But yeah, let me take you across the room here so that you can see what I do personally. This is what it looks like for me. Well, it looks like I actually have it the other way around from what I said. But yeah, x-axis, you want to choose whether you're going to put importance or you're going to put urgency there. I should have put urgency here, and I think I'm going to switch them around actually. Yeah, I'm going to switch them around. So as you can see, with this sort of setup, we now have 4 quadrants. And in the 4 quadrants, where importance and urgency intersect, which is this quadrant, the first quadrant, what you want to do is in that quadrant, you have no choice but to do it immediately. This is anything that needs to be done immediately or attended to immediately. It might not even be something that you want to do right now, but it might not even be something that is pushing you towards your goals, but if it needs to get addressed immediately, like paying rent, that's not pushing you towards your goal, but it is important and it is urgent if your due date is today. So that needs to get done. And then in this quadrant, we have important, but not, urgent, but not important. Well, paying rent can also be in there. It's important, yes, but to some people, I guess. I don't want to pay my rent most times, but I just have to, because if I don't, well, that sort of stuff will go there. Like meetings, at times, certain meetings that need to be taken might not be important, but they're likely urgent and need to be addressed like right now, because we need to decide how we're going to deal with this person who did this thing, in essence. And then we have our not important and not urgent space. As you can see, it is pretty empty, but there are certain things that just need to be done that are not important and are not urgent immediately, but they need to be done. This is where you want to live. This quadrant right here, the fourth quadrant, I believe, is where you want to live. You want to live here, where you're doing things that are important but don't necessarily need to be done right now. This is future focused. Doing things for the future right now, to save yourself time in the future and also to give yourself the room to be able to do those things creatively, in essence. But here's a very reactive space. You don't want to be here. Because if you're here, it means you didn't plan for this thing to happen, you didn't foresee it, and it's just happening. If all of your tasks are living here, you need to address your entire system for how you are doing things. And you need to sometimes even readjust your whole priority system, because if everything that you're doing is currently urgent and important, that means you haven't delegated properly. That usually means you're taking on way too much, way more than you should be taking on. I'm gonna go back here and sit down. Yeah, so that's what it means. It means you're taking on way more than you should be. You're doing work that you shouldn't be doing, addressing issues that you shouldn't be addressing, and you haven't quite defined clearly for yourself what things are important and what things are unimportant. And that is going to hurt you. It is going to hurt you because your health is going to suffer, your mental health, most especially because you're going to be in a constant state of like putting out fires and constant state of anxiety. And we don't want to be in that state, right? If you're just joining us here, we are talking through the Eisenhower method. It is still MindMap Mondays, and my name is still Falu Ekanji. The Eisenhower method, I'm just going to recap here, is a method of arranging tasks that need to be done in order of importance and urgency. Credit for this method is attributed to President Eisenhower, right? And that is what I am sharing, or I just shared here. There are 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is one that has tasks in it that are important and urgent. Often you do not want to be living in that space because your mental health is going to suffer. And right next to it in quadrant 2, we have things that are, for me, the way I have it, because I have my urgency along the y-axis instead of the x, as I should have done. But you have things that are urgent but not important. In that quadrant, right, when they're urgent and not important, you also don't want to live there, right? Most times, things like paying rent, I gave the example of, or eating. Yeah, eating should be in there for me because I often neglect that piece. Eating should be in that space for me every single time. So yeah, eating, taking a bath, it's urgent but not important. right? Because if you don't do it, you might die. If you don't do it, you might stink. It's urgent. Do it. And then in the third quadrant, right below the second one, if I even remember my quadrants correctly, but the one right below, so let's see. Top right quadrant, I'm going to call it from now on top right quadrant, top left, bottom right. So in your bottom left quadrant, right, in there you have things that are not important and they're not urgent either. What sort of things would this be? Going to groove, right? You were invited to groove, right? And it isn't urgent. You're not going to die if you don't go there. Sorry, I'm joking. You should go to groove. You should totally go to groove if you want to go to groove. But things like that should live in that space. And anything like responding to emails or checking your inbox and not replying. If you have no intention to reply to your inbox, but you just want to know what's going on in there, you should probably delegate that. Anything that lives in that quadrant where it is unimportant and not urgent either, delegate that thing. Delegate that thing. It'll save you time, it'll save you energy, and it will save you mental capacity. Right? And then there's the sweet spot, that bottom right quadrant. That bottom right quadrant is where you want to live because it is future focused. It is doing things right now that you don't need to be doing right now to guarantee that when it's time for them to be done, you are mostly done, all the way done. That's the quadrant where your goals live. Your future goals live in that important but not urgent quadrant. And that's where you want to spend a lot of your energy and time, right? The Eisenhower method. Let me know in the comment section. Is this your first time hearing about the Eisenhower matrix? If you use it, how do you use it? How does it benefit you or anything like that? It is still MindMap Mondays, and I am still Falu Ekanji, and we're still talking about the Eisenhower matrix. Personally, I carry one of these around with me all the time. What is this one called? It has on it, it says, you might not be able to read that. Let me try this other angle and see if we'll be able to read that. It says on there, lightly, it says thoughts. I struggle for more reasons than one to even keep or hold on to the thought that I'm thinking of right now. I struggle with that very much. So whenever I do have things that need to be written down, this is basically my brain. This little book here is my brain for anything that I know I'm going to forget. I write all kinds of things in here. This is another method that helps me with, which I use in integration with the Eisenhower method there. On my, oh my gosh, it is invisible. Well, let's go back to this other angle. On my on my left here, this is my right, but it's left on the camera. On the left here, I have my thoughts, random thoughts like, hey, maybe later on I should work on my notifications. Random thoughts go in here for me. And if those random thoughts keep bothering me or turn out to be something that I know I need to address, they move on to tasks. At the end of the day, I have a long list of tasks that I need to complete that I know I'm going to forget as well. Things like right now I have on there deal with my notifications, because I've recognized that because my notifications are in such a bad space, I have been missing out on a lot of stuff that might not be urgent, but would still be good for me to catch. So yeah, there's that. The other thing also with that is, as soon as this is full, at the end of the day, it then moves on to my board back there, so that I'm able to track the things that need to be done, the things that need to be addressed, and all of that. I've recognized, I take this actually from Einstein. Einstein said something along the lines of, don't memorize anything that you can find in a book. I think that's been something that's been a sort of like guiding force for me. I have exported certain brain functions to this. If I can find it in a book, I'm not going to memorize it. It gives me time to think, and it gives me time to project into the future. These are the methods that have been the most impactful in my life, in as far as taking one small step towards whatever goals I've set for myself, whatever goals I've set for like this space specifically. There's a lot of stuff that I know that I need to work on and repair and improve, right? But I can't improve them all at once. And that board over there helps me to make sure that I'm tracking every single goal. Like this Monday space, I really, really want to share helpful tools and strategies, and help us map our minds, and also our goals and all of that sort of stuff in here. So the way currently the way things stand, I am struggling to get in as much research as I could to be able to give solid advice. But I am relying on the things that have worked for me and researching them a little bit, like the Eisenhower matrix. I didn't even know it was called the Eisenhower matrix. I just knew important da 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 da. I had to do my research, come back here. So what this now allows me to do, being able to export my non-critical functions, like remembering that I need to take a bath, exporting that sort of stuff. And let me just clarify that I never forget to take a bath. I always take a bath, okay? Maybe eating, I forget. But I export all of that to here so that it allows me to think through what exactly should this space become. What exactly would be the most helpful thing for me to do in this space that's going to give the most value to the people who decide to watch it? That's what exporting my non-critical functions allows me to do. Now, I hope you found that particularly helpful, the Eisenhower matrix there. Don't forget, we have, I would really, I'm going to change that as well, actually. I really would advise time across the x-axis, and then importance across the y-axis. But whichever way you decide to do it, that's up to you. Whether you want to put your importance on the horizontal or you want to put it on the vertical, just make sure you are able to track that. This specific corner has things in it that are important but not urgent. This one has things that are important but urgent, and so on and so forth. If you can do that, it will give you a lot more peace of mind, and it gives me a greater sense of direction, at least, because everything that I need to do on a day-to-day basis or on the larger scale is broken down into little pieces that I can imagine myself doing. That was MindMap Mondays here. And like I just mentioned, I am looking to improve this space and the sort of content and information that comes in here. So if you found this helpful and you recognize the couple of things that are not so in place, I am a person who is totally open to criticism. No matter how you decide to word it, I will appreciate that criticism. So please do share it in the comment section. Send it directly to me as a person. I will appreciate it very much. It's going to be very helpful to building this space, specifically this MindMap Monday space, into something that is going to be super, super helpful to everyone who does pay attention to it. Yeah, Falu Ekanji still, and that was still MindMap Mondays. Again, that was the Eisenhower matrix, just in case you want to do some more research on your own. That wraps up our MindMap Mondays for today. But you know what that means? Do you know what that means? Maybe I should tell you what that means. it means that tomorrow is Truthful Tuesdays. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be sharing someone's heartfelt expression of truth. People are going to send in their honest, people have sent in their honest opinions and their honest stories and candid stories, but it is anonymous. So you can share whatever story you want us to read. Here, I'm going to add that Google form for you to enter your details there, and it is going to be anonymous, and you can go ahead and tell us what you would like us to call, so that you call you, so that you know that this is your story we're sharing, that everyone else won't know. So yeah, Truthful Tuesdays. Google form will be in this description box. We also are still selling our incredible shirts. I will include the link to that as well below here, and the link to our link tree as well, which will send you to all of our different spaces that we are building and trying to progressively make happen. So yeah, Truthful Tuesdays. Do not miss it. The story that I have for you tomorrow is just beyond what you can imagine. You won't be able to imagine the story that I have for you tomorrow. So I'm excited to share it, and I'm grateful for everyone who's participating and sending in their stories and everything like that. I appreciate you very much for your bravery. Hopefully the experience helps you get it off your chest. That has been Falwe Kanji here with your MindMap Mondays, talking about the Eisenhower Matrix. Do not forget, the 29th of September is still a thing that we're doing. And apart from that, 20 days from now, on the 28th of this month, you are welcome into my home to come and share some music and share some experience, have some conversations, and hopefully we can share our community with the rest of the world, and hopefully get some people to join our community. So yeah, I'm gonna have some links in that later in this week, in this video, and all the videos, all the links will be below in the description boxes, so that you're able to find everything. It's going to be labeled 28th of is it April? Yeah, 28th of April, and then 29th of September. All that information is going to be in the description. I know I've been meaning to put it in there, but slowly and steadily we are improving. I'm excited as well for this week's Fire Friday. Some improvements, if you have noticed, have been made to how this space sounds, and hopefully very soon also to how the instruments and all of that sounds. I'm basically building out a residency here on Friday. Every single day you get to hear myself, and sometimes some of my friends come in and share music and share a nice little set, and Fire Fridays is what it's going to be. If you have joined me up until this point, I appreciate you. I appreciate you beyond what you know. My name has been Falu, and I'll see you in tomorrow's Truthful Tuesday. Adios. Adieu. And to God.